OntarioLoval.com here at the Brighton Speedway for the first half of the Apple Fest Shootout weekend Friday night, but the skies have opened up and unfortunately racing action canceled for Friday night. Standing here with owner-promoter of the track, Mark Rinaldi. And Mark, unfortunately, just about as the cars were pulling into the pit area, the rain started to fall and you had to pull the plug.
Yeah, we delayed opening up the pit area because the skies didn't look good, and we had a full parking lot full of race cars. It was going to be a real good night, and yeah, unfortunately Mother Nature didn't cooperate with us. Can't complain too much. We've had a really good year, so we'll get this one behind us and look forward to a full night tomorrow night.
So tonight, the Dirt Car Sportsman Tour race was canceled. Vintage cars were also on the card, but it sounds like Vintage will be rescheduled, but the Sportsman, what's the word on that?
Yeah, the Sportsman, the Four Cylinders, Stingers, and the Pro Stock regular race will not be rescheduled. Vintage cars were all here camping, and they're a pretty easy thing to add to the card for tomorrow night, and so we're going to throw them on and let them come out and have some fun and join the rest of the show that's already scheduled for tomorrow night.
Now, the forecast for tomorrow looks better than it was today, and a lot to go on tomorrow night. Explain to the fans that are thinking about coming out what they're going to see tomorrow night, what the start time is, and ticket prices.
Yeah, well, first of all, yeah, the weather does look a lot better for tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning it's supposed to rain a bit, but then we get into tomorrow night, and it's going to be looking a lot better. So we start at 6 p.m. Gates open at 4. Ticket prices are $18 for adults, $14 for youth and seniors, $4 for kids, and 6 and under are always free. Tomorrow night we got a full card full of 358 modifieds, the Apple Fest Shootout, brought to you by Goodyear Auto Service in Belleville and ImageFactor.ca. And so 358s will be doing 50 laps. We got the Duel in the Dirt with Brighton and Merrittville Street Stocks. That'll be another 50 laps. That'll probably get close to 40 cars for that event. We'll have the Canadian Modifieds. The late models will both finish out their seasons for regular points, and now we've added the vintage cars as well, plus the mod lights.
Yeah, the mod lights back. Of course, they were supposed to be on the card tonight as well. They'll be here Saturday night and always put on a good race at any track they go to. So it's going to be a full night tomorrow night. Now, Mark, this year you mentioned you had a very good season. Last week you ran the Great Crate Race. It sounded like it was a good event. Lots of cars on hand. 65 laps, and Lee Gill took home the biggest purse in Brighton Speedway history.
Yeah, it was our first time doing it. We got a lot of support from a lot of sponsors to make that happen, including McDougall Insurance, Excel Tower Service, Lee Gill himself with Gillies Automotive. And yeah, that was, like I said, the biggest purse we've paid in the history. We've been here 30 years. 27 cars showed up, which is good considering there's not a lot of other late models in the area. We had guys from as far away as Franklin, Pennsylvania, and New York, obviously. A lot of local drivers, a couple of the Humberstone drivers showed up, and it was a great turnout. Racing was good, a great atmosphere. The stands were full. The facility was just hopping all night long, and it really went over well. So we're already making plans for next year, hopefully to do it again.
And it seems like the Dirt Pro late models really have added to the card here at the Brighton Speedway. Bring them on, it brought back some of the history with late model racing here at the track. But at the same time, it hasn't affected your other top division, the Canadian Modified. It seems like they continue to grow as well. Yeah,
you know what, we've been good with fan count and car count all year long. I really can't complain. Late models, second year running, and they've really added something to the card. Like you said, the fans love them. There's history of late models here. They've been here ever since we've been around. It's always been a late model track, and it really brought back a good atmosphere around the racetrack. Canadian Modifieds are doing well, and there's a bunch of more guys, Street Stocks and Comp 4s, moving up into Canadian Modified next year. It's a great stepping stone into the late model because you start to get into some of the 4-bar adjustments and really get into adjusting cars before you get into late models. And we've got 3 or 4 more guys talking about going to late model next year, so we'll be up to a 17, 18 car field for the 3rd year running. I'm pretty happy with that, considering there's no other cars to draw on really around this area. So,
all right, well, there you go. It continues to rain here at Brighton Speedway, but we'll be back right here Saturday night for the Apple Fest Shootout. The 358 Modifieds will be the headline card Saturday night right here at Brighton Speedway. Check out BrightonSpeedway.com for all the information. Thanks to Mark Rinaldi for taking the time to do this interview. I'm Greg Kellnan for OntarioLoval.com.